Welcome to the Success with Jewelry podcast, where we invite you inside our conversations about business success and marketing for jewelry designers and entrepreneurs.
We're Liz and Laryssa, jewelry marketing experts with a combined 16 years of experience in jewelry marketing and proven track records in helping jewelry brands meet their goals. When you listen to or watch this podcast, you get an intimate and exclusive peek behind the curtain of all the things you wish you could know about earning success in this industry.
Welcome to episode 59. In this episode, Liz and I are going to talk about the common mindset that we see that you feel like you're bothering your customers, which first of all is not true, but how can you work to get over that mindset and focus more on marketing your business successfully? Because we think your customers want more of you. So we'll be talking about what does this mindset look like? How do we see it manifested in your business and in your marketing? How can you work to improve your mindset? We also want to tell you about our insider community. When you join, you'll have access to extended episodes full of tips that you can start implementing today and further resources about each topic we discuss. In the bonus content of this episode, we share examples of brands that are communicating with us regularly, but we love them anyway, and we're never bothered by them. If you want access to this exclusive content, as well as direct access to me and Liz, sign up by visiting successwithjewelry.com. Hey, Liz, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. I do not like the term mindset, or like we're all, but it is important to do the work of having a positive mindset, right?
Is there another word you would use? Because we can use that one instead.
No, mindset is good. I think I'm triggered by all the like business coaches who like focus so much on mindset, but it is important.
Yeah. Well, they have a point, but I think it can be really overused. And people saying like, oh, mindset is truly like the answer to everything or the one thing that's getting in your way. I mean, I don't know if that's true, but I think it could be holding you back a little bit, at least a little bit.
I shouldn't have come in so negative about mindset because it could be holding you back. You're right. And this topic in particular, I think is important for us to discuss right now because we're in November, which is wild to me, but this is when you need to hit the hardest. I mean, you don't need to, but you could be hitting your customer really hard at this point. Like if you're thinking that you are over communicating this time of year, that shouldn't be the case.
It's almost cruel that November, December is like the busy time of year in the jewelry industry. Because I think most people, they have their energy, their positivity, their goals in January, and everyone's revved up. And I feel like over the course of the year, by the time you get here, you're just like, all right, I don't really care anymore.
Is so burnt out at this point in the year. And I don't know how to overcome that. I don't know how to encourage people to overcome that because, you have to power through a little bit. You can find ways to take breaks and find ways to reinvigorate yourself. And you should certainly do that. Like turn off your phone for a little bit and, get some rest and relax and try to like power up again. But you're right. I mean, I wish more people wanted to shop for jewelry in January.
Yeah, that would be nice, huh?
That would be nice.
So for people who are listening, who are like, I don't really know what you're talking about. Do I have this mindset? Maybe we can kind of give some examples of like what we see and how we see it manifested.
So many designers are often wondering and mention to me, like, am I too much? Am I showing up too much? Am I leaning in too hard to what I'm doing? Did I tell my story too frequently? Like, am I showing up too much? And honestly, you're not.
Yeah. And I think there's just such a worry. And so if you're asking yourself questions like, are people going to unfollow me? Are they going to be annoyed? Are they going to unsubscribe? If you have any of those questions or thoughts, then you probably have at least a little bit of this mindset.
And I think that I was actually just talking to another consultant, not a designer consultant. And they were like, oh, my Instagram is not growing. And I'm worried about that. And what I said to her, I was like, focus on the people who are following you that feel like they could be a good customer and reach out to them and focus on them. And don't worry about your count, your follower count going up or down, because that's not what matters. If somebody's unsubscribing or unfollowing, they were never going to be a customer, or maybe they are a customer and they just are doing something for them. Usually, if somebody's unsubscribing or unfollowing, it has to do more with them and how they're trying to consume content versus what you're putting out there.
I 100% agree with that. There's also the flip side too, that I think some designers over exaggerate in their heads how many people are unsubscribing or unfollowing them. And so for those people, looking at the numbers might actually be good, because what you think in your mind is maybe not the reality of like what's happening in the data. And so it's kind of good to like give yourself that reality check sometimes.
Yeah, it's good to, I mean, it's good to report and it's good to know, but like hyper focusing on
Mhm.
follower count or list count is going to do you a disservice. I think another thing that designers are often like really afraid to do, but is really something we should be doing, is reaching out to customers directly.
Mhm. And if you feel nervous about that, I mean, maybe you're shy and that's not like your comfort level to do that. But if you're not reaching out to customers because you're worried you're going to annoy them, then that's a clue that maybe you need to kind of look at your mindset around sales and marketing.
Definitely. And just a reminder here that you can do a really soft outreach. It doesn't have to be a sales outreach. It could be a happy Thanksgiving or wishing you a happy holiday season. Just getting that touch point with that customer. If you want to start there, and then maybe you start adding on, like maybe in January when you reach out, you say, like, Happy New Year. I have these new pieces that I think you'll love, which is, again, it's still a soft outreach, but you can start with something that doesn't even approach sales and then maybe work towards including something about your product.
Mm-hmm. I know in my business, working with clients, the place I see this manifest the most is with email marketing. I don't know what it is. People are afraid of sending emails, and I understand it, but I also don't understand it because I'm a marketer and a consumer, and I see how many emails brands are sending. And in the grand scheme of things, like the fear that you have about sending one email, it just it doesn't really make sense because of like what is happening in business in 2023 when it comes to marketing.
And I was thinking about this as I was looking at this outline. Sometimes if a designer isn't outreaching me regularly, I forget about them. I
Oh,
forget that they're out
totally.
there. I forget what they're doing. I feel disconnected with their brand. But when I'm getting an email from people regularly, for example, I just got an email from Quadrum Gallery, which is one of my favorite jewelry stores, and I got an email from them yesterday, but I still want to open this email from them to see what they're talking about.
Literally, I make like a list of things that I want to buy on like Black Friday, and the thoughts of what to put on that list go in and out of my head in a moment, like before I can even write them down. And I mostly remember when I see an email or like something reminds me to like put it on my list, because I'm like, oh yeah, I should like buy myself new slippers. I really need new slippers. And then literally 5 minutes later, I'm like, I need to go answer a text message, and I already forgot that like I need to buy slippers, you know? I don't know if everyone else is as scattered as me in my brain, but I think there's so much noise out there. Like you have to, as a service, be present in your customers' lives.
Definitely. And if you have a positive reaction to the brand, so like Quadrum, for example, like I love them. I love the people that work there. I love the jewelry they carry. When I get an email from them, it feels like warm and fuzzy, like, oh, wow, I do want to see what you guys are up to.
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, thinking about how you can make your customers feel a part of your world, they're not going to be upset from hearing from you because we're fans. They're fans of you. They want to support you. They want to hear from you. By the way, Laryssa, if you're looking for good slippers, Minnetonka is my favorite brand. I have great
Okay.
reviews from them. My favorite.
I'm going to forget that literally like in a
I'll
second,
text
but
you.
I'll have to literally write it on my list so I don't forget. And another tactic I have is like when I remember, if I'm not already subscribed to emails, I will subscribe to make sure like on Black Friday, I'll see that they're sending me an email to like shop because otherwise I'll forget.
Definitely. So how can you work on your mindset? It
I
takes
think
work. It
it
does
does
take.
take work. It takes a conscious effort to kind of step outside of yourself and kind of remember that that's just what marketing is and that's what commerce is. And maybe if it helps, like subscribe to other businesses' emails, or if you already do, like see what other people are sending and pay attention to your reaction. Are you sitting there like rage deleting emails because you hate all this marketing? The chances are you're not. You're probably like, ooh, I kind of want to buy that. Cool.
I love because I have trouble with this too, with email especially. Laryssa, I don't know why it's email for my clients. I love it. I love sending out emails for them. I'm such an advocate for showing up regularly. But when it's for you, I think it's more challenging. So with my emails, I send an email every other week. I get very upset at every unsubscribe, even though I'm working on that. But what I try to remember and what I do that helps me is I star or save the responses that are really positive.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes me feel good about reaching out because a designer once told me, I love receiving your emails. There's always like a nugget of inspiration or something that makes me feel good or something I learned from your emails. And I remember that every time I'm about to hit send on something, I remember that even if one person benefits from it, then it was worth sending.
That's a great point, having like a swipe file of like positive feedback. I like that. I think too, if you are a solopreneur and you have a goal to maybe be bigger someday, maybe you don't. I don't know. Some people just want to stay kind of where they are. But if you want to be bigger, have a team or even like one person helping you, the bigger you get in your business, the less you're going to care about that stuff because you will just have like other things to worry about, bigger ideas, bigger challenges. Like you're not going to be monitoring every unsubscribe that comes in your inbox. So if you can almost get in that mindset, like I'm a CEO and I have bigger things to worry about than like this person who unsubscribed, that can really empower you and kind of like help you fake it before you make it to the place you want to be in your business.
Yeah, and just don't take it personally. I mean,
Yeah.
subscribes, unfollows are usually not about you and not about your content.
Mm-mm. Rarely, I would say. So we want to know, are you working on overcoming this mindset? You can visit successwithjewelry.com to sign up for the extended episode as well as exclusive content. Thanks so much for listening.